Hi, Daniel. Boy, that's very impressive work on the spectral subtraction in your implementation of BG2FX. I mean, really, honestly, I'm impressed. Um, I figured, seeing you shared some audio with me, I'd like you to walk through what my findings are here. So first of all, I kind of got back into radio last year, Hamvention, so last May of 2024, and I started getting bitten by all these SDR radios. So I've got a Wolf, I've got a Thetis, running the Hermes Light. I've got an SBitX. I've got the Yaesu FT17. I've got numerous of these, like STM32 and the ESP32 type SDR radios. So of all this stuff, the best noise reduction and the best receiver by far of any of them is the Hermes Light 2 running Thetis. But that has got a couple of things that make it substantially different than BG2FX's radio, and among them are the Hermes is running a programmable gate array, plus all its computing horsepower is offloaded to Thetis on a PC. So, you can have as much computing horsepower as you want to affect whatever noise reduction you want. But their DNR2 is by far awesome. So, of all my research, then I found that I was thrilled with this Malahit team's SDR1 and SDR2, and so Malahit is, if you don't know, which I'm sure you do, but pardon me and pardon my English, because I don't speak French, and so I don't know if you can understand this, but you seem to be actually conversant in English, fluent in English as well. So I'm taking that liberty, thinking that you can understand me. Anyway, so basically, I have been in touch with one of the leads on the Malahit team, and that would be RX9 CIM Georgie. So I actually have one of the latest radios, the SDR3, coming in from Russia. If it can clear U.S. customs, I should see it in the first week of June or something. But nonetheless, there are tons of Chinese versions of their SDR1 and SDR2 radios. So I have with me an SDR2, and my SDR1 is back at home. But the SDR1 is an STM32 Cortex M7 based processor with a codec that's a little bit better than use, and it's got a little bit more flash memory available to it. But nonetheless, it is essentially the hardware that you're using, and only dedicated as a receiver, no transmit functions. And along those lines, then, of the three variants, DSP 1, 2, and 3, DSP 1 is all based on open source work. And when I was speaking with Georgie, RX9 CIM, he had pointed me back to some of the original work by Ebrahim and Maha back in '88 on spectral subtraction, which is what they implemented in their code. And while their source code is not floating around, ChatGPT, once it agreed that it was open source, disassembled pretty rigorously the binary and could see what was going on with them. And your input has been invaluable. But anyway, already we're at 4 minutes with this. I think I'm going to post it on YouTube and send you the link. So what I want to show you, though, is the SDR2, which is pretty much equivalent to the SDR1 that I'm copying. But there are two aspects of this that I wanted to use in the FX4CR. And one would be the spectral subtraction noise reduction, and number two would be actually the spectrum display. It's awesome. And all my analysis, and based on your feedback and input, my analysis with ChatGPT is that that there's plenty of room to do this in used hardware as it stands and as your code stands now too. So let's take a look at a couple of things. First things first, before I turn up the sound, is this is the Spectral display. So obviously used display is smaller, but it's still a very nice quality display, and I don't think that what he's doing graphically does any justice to what can be done with that hardware. I think that this is an awesome execution of the display. So a couple of key points that right now we're set at 48 kilohertz width, but I can touch this, and of course this is touch input, unlike use radio, and so it goes up to 192 kilohertz width or 96. So I have three different widths, and you can see I got some averaging on, but this is a very quick update, and I have all sorts of nice aesthetic things that I can change on it too. So if I get in here, for example, I have all sorts of color schemes that I can choose from here. I mean, this is all well defined in the interface. Also, I can divide up the screen on the fly with these pan percentage, FFT scale, and things like that. I can fill the FFT display or the graph or not. There's a lot that can be done with this thing, as you can see here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to hear the noise reduction. So I think that this. So if I go in here, what I really have. So there's an impulse noise blanker, which I'm not sure that's that sophisticated, but I actually saw a broad spectrum impulse noise blanker that Flex has just introduced, which there were across one Spectral display 40 impulse signals that have killed them all, but that's a different animal. So in here, then they are only implementing the DNR2, which is the spectral subtraction. But what I have here is I have this threshold that I can run from 0 to 30. So what I want to do is I want to bring, and I'm on 20 meters. I got a vertical multi-band up on the roof. So here, I want to show this off so you can hear their execution on hardware that's pretty much identical to use. So let me back out of here and let me shut off noise reduction. And you can hear in the background. Now, if I turn on noise reduction, there it is, right? Sorry. If you want to give it one more time, still on top 0 again. I mean, that is just gorgeous, right? And there's no water. November 5, this is South Alpha 59 New York, US 2070. Yes, sir, you're 57. Okay, so the takeaway on that is that unlike with the Thetis and the Hermes, by implementing a fairly rigorous DNR2 spectral subtraction, you're not attenuating the main signal at all. It really pulls these hard to hear signals right out of the background, the white noise, number one, and number two, there's no underwater gurgling artifacts at all with this. I mean, the Russian guys have got an absolutely flawless execution of spectral subtraction. It's the best I've seen. It is just awesome. So let me go in here one more time and let me show you with and without. And as you can see, I got much stronger signals around, but I'm focusing on this little one here just to really show off what the noise reduction can do. So I'm going to put up the volume, and then I'm going to adjust the tuning parameter on the filter itself. So give me a second. bands are changing around a bit. Okay, anyway, now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I got the threshold set at max. Okay, so that's a pretty tough to read signal. I think it becomes audible with the noise reduction, where it wouldn't be without it. I think that running from 0 to full scale on the strength of the noise reduction filter, you get no artifacting whatsoever. Again, STM32 based, no FPGA, slightly better codec, not that uses incapable at all, and an absolutely wonderful execution. Again, probably the best there is. The only thing that it's missing is any sort of 3D, 3D effect, which some people don't like anyway. But in Use Little Box, these two features would change the nature and probably help him sell a lot more of the radios, because at $550, and I don't know what the current tariffs are going to look like getting into the United States, that it would open up the market, because I think his radio is a little bit too pricey for what it is, because he's competing like with a Zygoose 6100 that I can get on Amazon for $465, plus any of the G90s I can pick up, or I could pick up through China for in the low 300s, 320. So it's hard to justify spending that money on used, given that what he's got going for it is compact size, small, but he doesn't have any ATU in it, and it's a very crudely designed UI, and he hasn't put much work at all into the firmware. But again, with this edition of the noise reduction plus the Spectral display, eventually, it makes it a completely different radio. Okay, so I really appreciate you hand-holding me a bit with this. I'm a mechanical engineer by training, and like in the early stages of PSK 31 or whatever, I started to get involved with digital signal processing then, but family and kids and all that took me away, and like the whole world's changed so much in 20 plus years. So I now have AI tools to help me get back into it. So like you've really helped me like push ChatGPT to do a better job at analyzing things, and also here, I've got an STM32 developers board that I'm trying to bring myself up to speed with this, so I can evaluate my own filters. But clearly you're way more proficient than I am, and you're outpacing it. And actually, ChatGPT had commented how much like more your use of the STM and the ARM DSP functions and stuff like that, and with your concern with like proper, I forget the terminology, but the proper sequencing with the clock cycles and all that stuff. ChatGPT pointed out that you have actually really started to get heavily involved with optimizing this for the STM32's capabilities. So anyway, Daniel, nice to meet you. Thank you. I was really impressed hearing what you had just sent me, and good luck with things. And I hope this can go further and really make this FX4CR something really great. Okay, thank you.